In today's video we're making a party starter recipe, crispy chicken bites marinated into a sauce that will also serve as a dip. And I know this might sound as a compromise, but it's so far from it. Because the textures and the flavors are there, whenever you have friends coming over, put these on the table, they'll be so happy with the end results. And if it's first time we meet, consider subscribing because we have a new recipe coming every single week and we have a mission to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Be part of it. Enjoy the cooking. And we are going to start with the sauce, which is a bit of a weird one because it's going to be both the marinade and the dip. Double bubble. If this is not easy, I don't know what it is. We have 1 garlic, which is more than enough for what we need, with about 2 grams of fresh ginger. The ginger is pungent and it's peppery, so don't go too crazy. Now let's peel the ginger. I'm using a knife, but for less wastage, scrape the ginger skin with a teaspoon. I can't really use this trick because the ginger I'm using is not that fresh, so I need to get the knife involved. All this stuff goes straight into a mini chopper or a blender together with some coriander, straight from the source. If you don't like the coriander, which I know is kind of a half-half situation, just skip it, it's no big drama. Let's talk mustard, which is so essential for what we want to achieve. Same as for a vinaigrette, the ability to absorb a whole liquid is making mustard a very good emulsifying agent. Back with the sweet chili sauce, which is an absolutely amazing choice when it comes to chicken. Add about 80 ml of it, this should do the job. Same as the mustard, but in a slightly different way. Because of that stickiness, the sweet chili sauce will not just give flavor, but will bring together the rest of the ingredients through that emulsifying process. Obviously for the actual marinade we don't care that much about the consistency, but for the dip is a different story. Since we make this in 2-in-1 combo, we need to get this sauce nice and smooth. You wanna add the oil gradually, so the sauce doesn't split. Veg oil, by the way, 50 ml will definitely do. Using the quantities I mentioned so far, you might find it hard to blend them into a bigger blender, because the blender won't catch the ingredients. So you might wanna double up the quantities and store the leftover sauce into the fridge for up to a week. Nice and smooth, let's move on to the chicken. 2 nice chicken breasts. Trim all the fat off, go for organic if possible, it always makes the difference. And next time you might want to consider buying a whole chicken. And if you can find use for all the parts in various recipes, it's definitely a more affordable way to purchase meat. Place your hand on top of the chicken and slice horizontally, dividing it in half. I don't think it comes as a crucial advice, but a sharp knife really helps. Now we want to cut the chicken once again. You basically need 4 cuts on each breast before we start chopping it in smaller bits. When it comes to get the final size, go roughly with the same measurement, about 1 inch in length and 1/4 inch wide. But to be honest with you, even if you don't get it exactly right, it's absolutely fine, because we'll get different textures. We just want to make sure that it's cooked enough. Let's move on to the seasoning. Although you can go crazy with what you can add on the meat, I only use pepper, salt and the marinade we made earlier, which is the key in this instance. Add only 60% of the marinade sauce on the meat. We want to keep some for dipping. I talk so much about this 2-in-1 marinade sauce blah 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 that I'm pretty sure you're not gonna forget this. Get your hands in and mix that chicken until it's well covered in that marinade. Ideally, if you can, prepare all these a day in advance, so the meat can absorb as much flavor as possible. Are you in a rush? Well, then 1 hour will do. The meat well covered with cling film, went into the fridge, and now in a large bowl we can prepare the dredge for the chicken. 200 grams of flour go in, and we are seasoning the flour with a number of spices because we want the crispy outside layer to play with our senses when biting into it. So half teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of Cajun spice, or you can even consider using hot paprika, but if you do so, just go a bit less. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of salt and freshly grounded black pepper. 1 hour later, or ideally a day after, get the chicken out of the fridge and mix it well with the seasoned flour. Coat the chicken very well in flour, every single bit should be covered. This is where all that crispiness is coming from. Fill a pan with about 1 inch of veg oil, in this case a wok, which is so versatile I highly recommend it. Start heating up over medium-high heat, and I guess using a free flow purer will take a whole day, let's get rid of it. And here it comes. To have an idea when the oil is hot enough, take a pinch of flour and drop it into the oil. If it starts bubbling, you're good to go. If you want to be a bit more high tech, use a probe thermometer, and when it displays 180 degrees Celsius, you are ready to dive that chicken in. Carefully place the coated chicken into the hot oil and fry for about 5-4 minutes, until the chicken is crisp, golden brown and cooked through. Spread it out so it has enough space to cook evenly. Because of the sugar content from the sweet chili, it will go darker easily, so don't be tricked only by the color, make sure you also check. The same idea can be made without sweet chili and the whole marinade we prepared earlier, with buttermilk. This will get somewhere closer to the KFC style kind of chicken, but you might want to consider different spices. If that recipe is something that you'd love to see on my channel in the future, please let me know in the comment section down below. When the time is right, remove the chicken from the pan and place it onto a tray or plate that is covered with kitchen towel that will absorb all that excess oil. You should be able to get the chicken cooked in 2 sessions, and the oil will manage, but after that, if you make a bigger batch, either pass the oil through a fine sieve and get it back into the pan, or replace it with a fresh one, as the flour burns when cooking and this will affect the taste. Use this crispy chicken with wraps, use it on salads, or simply serve it with the dip we've made. All the ingredients for this recipe will be listed in the description section down below, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and I'll see you in the next one. You keep watching and I'll keep cooking.